You want a guaranteed way to get your next sales job? I've got it for you on this episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Welcome to the Dave Lorenzo Daily. We're here every day at 5 p.m. with a great sales strategy for you. Today, I'm going to help you get your dream job in sales. That's right, I've got a guaranteed way for you to get your next sales job. It's foolproof. It works every time. When I was in sales, this is how I got my job. And when you want to take the next step in your career and you want to get your next sales job, you can follow this 5-step process and it will work like a charm. Before we get to the 5-step process, I need to remind you that I'm here every day for you with a great sales tip every day at 5 p.m. on the Dave Lorenzo Daily, my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in this video, give me a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. This way, you're notified when we go live. And when we go live, you can ask questions and I'll give you answers. All right, so here's the 5-step process that's guaranteed to get you your next sales job. Step number 1, you need to find someone in the company who knows the role that you're going to go into and do an informational interview with them. Find out everything there is to know about the role, the expectations, the outcome you're expected to drive in the role, the reporting structure, the likes and dislikes of the boss, what the boss needs in order to be successful, and why that level of success is important to the boss personally. You need to become a private investigator and do your diligence. Figure out everything there is to know about the boss and about the job, about the outcomes that are expected of you, so that you know going in what is required. The second step in this process is schedule a ride-along. Tell the Human Resources Department you're interested in discovering what the job is all about and you'd like to do a ride-along. Try and set it up through official channels. Now, if you can't set it up through official channels, I need you to go on LinkedIn and I need you to connect with some people who are in the role and I need you to get them to agree to meet with you and figure out what they do during the course of the day. Piece it together from doing portions of a day with 2 or 3 different people. Now, if you're really good at sales, you'll be able to persuade Human Resources to let you do a ride-along, and you'll be able to persuade people who are currently in the role to share an hour or 2 of their day with you. This is critical because you'll get real-world experience, and it'll do 2 things. Number 1, you'll figure out if you really want this job after all because you'll be in the field with these people doing the job. And number 2, you will figure out exactly what these people do, and you will know what's expected when you go into the interview. That ride-along is critical. You need to be able to persuade at least 2 people, 3 people ideally, from the company to let you go with them for a portion of the day, an hour, 2 hours. If you can, meet with the customers and see what's going on, learn what the job is all about. Persuade Human Resources to let you spend a full day with someone in a showcase environment where everything should be perfect so that you get a feel for what the job is. That's step number 2. Step number 3, find out who the customers are and talk to them. See what the customers like about the company. See what the customers don't like about the company. Find out what you could do better if you were in the role that you seek. What is the customer looking for? How do you find out who the customers are? Well, it's pretty easy. If you're going after this role, there's a good chance you're in a competitive environment with this company. You know who your competitors have as clients. Go talk to them. Go in person and talk to them. Again, you're seeking a sales role. You have to be aggressive. Do your homework. Figure out what the customers like, what they don't like, what can be improved. You have that under your belt before you ever go into an interview. The 4th step in this process is to find someone who's not a client and see what it would take to make them switch. Find someone who's not a client and see what it would take to make them switch. You have to go out and do 5, 6, maybe even 10 interviews with decision makers who aren't clients. You're actually going to try and do this job. You're going to find out what it would take to make these people switch, and you're going to have that in your pocket. Then I want you to go and schedule the interview. You're a salesperson. You find out who the hiring manager is. Use your skills of persistence and persuasion to get the appointment. Go on the appointment and answer all the questions based on all of this knowledge you've acquired, and then turn to the manager and say, and oh, by the way, I met with Mrs. Smith, I met with Mr. Johnson, I talked to them, they'd be happy to come on board with the company. All they need to hear is this, all they need from the company is this, and we can go close that deal. I'd like these to be my first 2 deals. If it's outside of my territory, I will turn it over to somebody else as a gift. Think about that for a minute. You're showing up to an interview with clients in your pocket. You're showing up to an interview with deep knowledge of the company and how it impacts the industry and how the economy is impacting the company. How do you know this? Because you've interviewed people who work for the company, you've ridden along with people who are in the role, you've interviewed existing clients, and you've interviewed prospective clients. You've done deep research. You've proven that you can already do this job. Do you think they would give the job to you? The answer is, of course they would. You're prepared, you're professional, you've done your homework, you've brought them business. You've demonstrated a level of competence that will far surpass anyone else they've seen as a candidate. It will probably surpass a lot of people who are currently in the role. That's what you're looking to do. That's how you get a sales job, guaranteed. The only question I have for you now is, are you willing to do this amount of work for your dream job? If the answer is no, then it's not meant to be. That's not the job for you. If you want to discover how you can answer one of the most ridiculous questions in sales interview history, you need to watch this video right here. This is my response to how to sell a pen in a job interview. Click on that, watch that video. I think that question is ridiculous. I think you can get the job without ever having to answer that question because you're going to walk in with some clients in your pocket. Watch that video right now, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Dave Lorenzo Daily.